Hello everybody. Let's do a quick sound check before we start. Alright, sounds to me like it's pretty good, and from what I can see the browser window is also showing, so we should be in a good place to do this. Got quite a few reviews to do today. I'm really behind with reviews, so I'm going to try to focus mostly on that. And let's see what we can get done. So, yeah. Right, this one's in draft, so let's start with the ones that are out of draft. Gosh, how much do we have? So there's more Polus tests. We probably want this one. This one is internal. And these Polus tests, like, they were useful for finding some seg fault in PyArrow on Windows. So I think it's pretty good to include them. I'd left a little request. It looks like Stelios has addressed it. Wait, that's a good point. So it's EW mean, exponentially weight. Oh, because one of the M's stands for moving average. So it's EWM mean. But I don't care enough to want to bother pointing it out. Looks good to me. Nice that we've got the test with strange column names, just in case there was some reason why we didn't handle that. Yeah, I like a real-world example of a filter and date times. Yeah, I really like this. Let's ship it. Awesome. Thanks, Stelios. Cool. One down. Let's see how many we can get through in this session. Ship me internal. Title looks good. Let's do this. Okay, done that one. Next. Series from iterable. List contains. This one's still in draft. Into schema alias list.get. SQL DT namespace. Oh my gosh, how many? No, I mean, it's wonderful to have such an active community. But let's see how much we can realistically get through. So series.from iterable. Yeah, this is quite nice. Should this raise if somebody specifies dtype equals date time? I don't know, because we're not really encouraging people to rely on the yeah, we don't really want to encourage people to rely on the exact time unit. So let's respond to that. Yeah, pandas string issues are indeed endless. Okay, let's just comment on that. So I think that for dtype equals nw.datetime, we shouldn't raise, but should, as arguably then all the user is saying is that they want something of datetime type without caring too much about the inner metadata, but for dtype equals nw.datetime ms, we should probably warn or raise. Anyway, that feels unrelated, so let's just check if what's in here is good to go. Hope it is. I really want to ship this list.contains and list.get. I think it's really time to expand the list namespace. From iterable, nice is array or scalar. So if the date, let's see, so here in arrow, if the dtype is not none, previously we were just calling Narwhals to native dtype. Oh, okay, and here we're what are we doing? So dtype PyA, so this is the same, just Narwhals to native dtype, yeah. Then if data is an array or a scalar, then first we cast it. And then we set the dtype PyA to none. Because we've already done the cast. Sure. And then we say that native equals data. If this is native, sure, and otherwise we have to wrap it in chunked array with the appropriate dtype. And else, if the dtype is none, we just literally just call chunked array on it. Why do we only... Yeah, why do we only need the is array or scalar check in one case but not the other? Okay, we'll come back to this a little bit later. Let's just work through the rest. This looks correct. Yeah, slightly surprised that this didn't already cause issues, but sure, nice. Then, polar series is pandas index. So here we've got from iterable. So if it's an old polars, then yeah, we first convert index to series. Given how old this polars is, I'm not sure if we'd... Yeah, it's fine to fix it, but not overly concerned. And otherwise, okay, we're just doing a typing cast, but sure. If there's a D type, then we cast. Yeah, this pretty straightforward and uncontroversial. Then from iterable. So dtype is into... Yeah, okay, sure. If it's not specified, then the native library may auto-infer it. This looks like it's taken from the new series docstring, which looks fine. Nice. Nice, yeah. If it's a numpy array, we just call from numpy. Do we have a separate from numpy function? Oh, we do, yeah. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, Dan had added it in a previous PR. Nice. Then validate into dtype if it's there. If it's not iterable, we raise. Yeah, sure. Then if the backend is a lazy only one, we raise an informative error message. Nice. Yeah. Separate to this, we discussed we want to get rid of this level, but that's a separate issue. This looks good. Nice. Okay, in V1 we need to override this so that the return type is a V1 series. Yeah, looks good. V2 similar, and from NumPy is also missing, sure. Fine to do that in a separate PR. Then use if a test is heavily parametric and skips string backend. I'm just trying to make sense of this. Where are we? Wait, I've just lost where I was. Here we are. Request.param eager implementation fixture. Okay, so it's yeah, okay, sure. I didn't remember that we had this, but it feels overkill to be parameterizing over both of these each time, but whatever. Yeah, okay, sure. What do we have here? User-defined iterable. Oh, this is just a test. Yeah, okay, so we just make some iterable. Yeah, okay, it's quite a bespoke test. Python. What on earth is going on here? Okay, I'll come back to that one in a second. So, from NumPy test, yeah, this feels like it's this test just doesn't belong here, so sure. So yeah, oh right, so this just re-implements assert equal series. So rather than re-implementing it, we just import it from utils. Nice. Or rather, we've moved that there now, because now we're presumably going to use it in more places. Sure thing. V1 test. Yeah, we just check. I don't... Eager backend. Eager allowed. Is this the one that's parameterizing over those? I mean, the eager backends are still fast enough, so maybe I'm not too bothered about this. Sure, this is probably fine. Though actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 3, 15. We're doing 15 runs here. But yeah, they are all eager, so it should be fast enough. Okay, yeah, and if it's temporal before 2, then yeah, the D-type isn't quite going to be the expected one. Sure. API reference from iterable, okay. Need to take a look back at this one. Yeah, what is this IDs into iter? Oh, is it just for the IDs in PyTest? Okay, sure, it's just something to print things out prettily. I'm not gonna bother understanding it. And if we need to remove it, it doesn't affect the tests. It just displays how it just affects how they're represented when you print them out to the console. So nothing critical. So from the start, what are we doing? So we're defining our own user-defined iterable. Okay, we make a generator function, generator expression. Dict keys, dict values. Okay. Iter into iter third party. Okay, so we're just appending some constructors here. Sure thing. As well as some standard lib ones. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're really testing everything here. Nice. Wait, we are... What? pd.array. Where is the Python? Where is the pandas API? I don't. Is this even meant to be user facing? Oh, it is. Yeah. So it is in the docs, but I really have to wonder whether users should be using this directly. So does it belong in our test suite? Nah. Oh well, that's fine. I am curious to see how long this test takes, so I will try that out. So yeah, we fail if there's no pd.array. Oh wait, is there an actual issue about this? I mean, I would hope that the response is we don't care. Yeah, there's no response. Like, who... Wait, what? So pd.series.unique returns an extension array. Seriously? No way. Gonna have to try this out. Okay. Yeah, gonna have to try this out. Let's see. Is the code sharing? Yeah, I believe the code's sharing. So this cannot be real, can it? So if I make a pandas series with a date time object, then the D type, yeah, okay, it's just this numpy backed one. And then if I call dot unique, No way. I actually get a pandas array. I did not realize this. This is surprising to me. Why does that happen? Pandas. Let's take a look at the unique method in the API. So pandas series.unique doesn't sort, sure. ND array or extension array. Wow. I don't think extension array is generally supported anywhere across the ecosystem, so it's a bit of a surprising return type to me. Like, why not return a series with the unique values? But oh well. Lol, pandas being pandas with strings. Yeah, sure. Here we infer it, so we don't pass dtype in, but we expect it to infer it as int64, sure. Not eager. Sure, if we pass in SQL frame, we expect it to raise. Nice. So I was actually wondering about this, like what happens if we've got a 2D NumPy array and it raises. Nice, as it should. I guess you could say that it should return a nested data type. Yeah, maybe let's just leave a comment for that. I think in the future we would return a nested data type here. One for the future anyway. And I'm curious about what pandas does here. So let's just try. What pandas is PL? What was I about to try? Oh, right. Yeah, initializing a series from a 2D NumPy array. So pl.series from a 1D NumPy array, then unambiguously it just returns a NumPy, a pandas series. With a 2D NumPy array, yeah, nice. It does in fact return a nested data type. I think this is good to comment. I don't think we can do this in the general from NumPy case anyway. If it's a series method, then there's no ambiguity here. Whereas an overloaded method, which can return both series and data frame, wouldn't know which type to return for a 2D array and should probably default to data frame. One for the future anyway. Yeah, I just like to leave this as a comment, just in case Dan has thoughts. Yeah, the rest of this looks good. Then we have this PyArrow one, which I'm actually a bit curious about breaking. Let's just try this out. So let's fetch upstream. And let's check out to this branch. Let's see, where are we? Series from iterable. Git checkout series from iterable. Then How long does this test take? I'm curious about that for a start. It's a bit long, to be honest. To be honest, I think this is too long. Which, yeah, I think I'm going to block the PR until this is addressed. This is... It looks like this series from iterable test is just taking forever. The test suite is long enough already. I don't really... Like, I guess you could say that this is a fundamental thing which really needs being tested for all these types, but I don't know. Oh, right. So I was curious about this one, Arrow series. So there was this function isArray or scalar. Why? Yeah, why do we need that? Curious about this. So let's see what breaks. Okay. Time to put a breakpoint here and then rerun the test which just failed, which I'm going to do with --lf. So here we've got the data is a chunked array. Oh, I think it's probably that PyArrow just ignores the data type if you... Is that right? Let's try this. So import PyArrow as PA. So if we make some PyArrow array, like 1, 2, 3, so this one has probably got type int64. So then if we passed that to the array constructor and we said type equals... No, wait, it is respecting it. What about chunked array? Then it tells us all chunks must be... Oh, right, okay, I see. So we need to cast it before sending it there. Sure, okay, makes sense. Okay, so thanks. So just left a comment for thought. This from iterable test takes nearly 3 seconds on my laptop, which I feel is quite a lot. So just for comparison, I don't know. If we done, I don't know, something like the rank test or something like that. Gosh, this takes forever. This is going over lazy backends as well, though. Gosh, we've got lots of different ranks to test. Diff test. Yeah, diff test takes less than that, like nearly 3 seconds just for from iterable. Feels like a bit much. Feels like a lot, especially if we need, like if every function took that long. Yeah, I'll just ask, is it possible to trim it down slightly? generally looks good though. Cool. List.contains, so I had actually approved it. And the downstream failures are unrelated. I think we can ship this. Yeah, fairly keen to have this feature. Then, oh right, this is that issue that I saw in pandas about initializing from yeah, the typed pandas arrays. Oh well, too bad. Why? Okay, so into schema alias. Okay, sure. So either it's a schema or it's something that we can convert into a schema. Yeah, sure. Seems legit. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks fine. So constructor allows tuples, but we don't support that everywhere. Yeah, I guess we could, but then where are we getting the names from? Yeah, I don't know. Not super bothered. Okay, sure. Looks good. Wait, am I missing a file? Oh, this one where we're also just using the alias. Sure, looks good. Looks done. Okay, list.get. Nice, yeah, I saw this earlier actually. We've got Francesco made a really good comment about how there's probably some extra test cases which we need to include, which we don't have yet. Oh, and there's a bunch of merge conflicts now. Yeah, I think this makes sense. So we should start with just accepting integers. So let's start with just accepting integers. We can always loosen and expressify in the future. Cool. Nice. Okay, just going to take a short break and then I think we can probably ship this. Okay, let's get back to it. Where are we? Right, let's just fix up the title a little bit. So, yeah, refactor SQL data, extra date time namespace. Let's label it as internal, and yeah, I think it should be fine. Okay, let's take a look at the changes. Right, so we can remove all of these year, month, day, hour, minute, second from ductD. B, we instead just inherit from SQL extra datetime namespace and ordinal day, and the others are, they are what they are, so we have to keep them. I think weekday we can probably share as well by just remapping ISO day of the week onto, oh no, sorry, no, for Spark that one is super complicated because they start on Sunday. Why? Right, for IBIS, sure, nice. Oh, so here that you do use underscores, nice. Wait, what was date? Oh, to date, yeah. And similarly by Spark, nice. Nice. Yeah, it feels like we could have an extra helper function to reduce these even further, like something like with simple function. Maybe not with simple function, but apply simple function, something like that. Yeah, as another follow-up, if you fancy it, maybe we could have an extra def, something like def simple function, name string, and then it should return a SQL extra t, and then we return this. And then reuse that here. Simple function day. Yeah, let's just be explicit. And for others, sometimes just spending half a second writing an extra phrase now can save you having to write it later. But I think this is good for now. Let's approve. Oh wait, did I just send the GIF and no message? Yeah, I think usually it's good to also include a message. Let's do that. Thanks. And let's ship it. Yeah, let's keep the co-authored by pre-commit, because it amuses me that pre-commit bot is one of the top contributors by number to the repo. Yeah, GitHub bot is the first one that shows up here, somewhat amusingly. Yeah, pre-commit bot showing up here. Anyway, support passing nw.objects to pandas like. And this came up as an issue 3 weeks ago. Okay, where somebody intentionally wants something to be object. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, makes sense. Let's not support that for PyArrow. For pandas, it's fine. Nice. Yeah, really like this. Nice, yeah, nice and simple, non-controversial. Yeah. Nice. So thanks for the report. Fixed now. Okay. What do we have left? Got a message hearing from iterable. Oh, right. We've got this one about accepting quags in two pandas. Need to do that one as well. Right, yeah. I didn't get around to responding to this time, but looks like Francesco did. Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah, let's take a look. This might require more headspace. And then I have room for what? Oh, is this just used in typing? Sure. Okay. Yeah, so what's this two pandas keyword arguments? Keyword arguments to be passed to PyArrow table.toPandas. I'm still not sure about this, to be honest. But also I'm curious about what happens, let's say, for Polar's two pandas. What is this? So yeah, we're using this use PyArrow extension array. To be honest, I'm really not sure about this. Self-destruct, split. What is this self-destruct anyway? No, it's an experimental thing as well. Attempt to deallocate the originating arrow memory while converting the arrow object to pandas. Yeah, to be honest, I'm really not sure about having all of these be part of the public Narwhals API. So let's go back to this Polars one. Always true, self-destruct, split blocks. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some PRs just have the tendency to get more complicated than they should be. Yeah, okay, there's 31 items to load. Yeah, okay, for now let's just comment on the typing. Okay, so I haven't read the whole thread yet, but on a first... But I'm really not wild about having this here. Especially experimental. All this here in the Narwhals API, especially the experimental options. And let's also block it. I don't really want this to be merged as is. There's just a bit of a tendency to add too much to things. Oh yeah, this one I really wanted to review. I mean, the other one, there was another one I really wanted to take a look at, which was, yeah, division by zero. This one's quite nice. Okay. Cool. Thanks for bearing with this one. Could you resolve the conflicts, please? And we can try to get it in. Then this one, yeah, I was concerned about something being way too complicated. Reserve conflicts. Okay, yeah, looks like this probably... Actually, I can respond to this. It should be possible by putting statements within each other. I think we've got an example of that. I can probably link to something, yeah. I think Michelle might have added an example of this. Need to get the code up. Was it? Yeah, like a dog here. This is really nice. Copy remote file URL. Yeah, let's paste this in. But I think the blocker was that in pandas there was something a bit too complicated that was re-implemented. Oh yeah, okay, this one still needs addressing. I'm actually not seeing pandas like changes anymore, so I wonder if... Oh yeah, here. Yeah, this felt like more complexity than I really wanted. Yeah, I'll have to take a closer look at it. Cool. Yeah, that's all I really have time for today. So yeah, thanks everyone for PRs, thanks for engagement, and all the best. Have a good one.